Welcome to Make It Rain with Adam Schein on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Oh, yes, Friday. Hello, Friday. Make It Rain with Adam Schein here on VSiN. And my goodness, there is so much going on in the world of sports and the world of sports betting. One of our favorite guests is on the show, SiriusXM NBA radio superstar. My guy, Justin Termine, is going to join us coming up in 30 minutes. The NBA postseason has just been incredible and off the charts, and Termine is sensational. Can't wait to have him back on this piping hot edition of Make It Rain with Adam Schein. We've got some Friday baseball plays. We will react to another day. That was the worst of them all. With the Colorado Rockies, I mean, that was a complete and utter embarrassment. They are the biggest embarrassment right now in professional sports. I hope you were playing along with us last night. We had 8 best bets, hit 6. If you bet them all, you're feeling really damn good, especially with the juice on the 2 hockey games we hit last night. So you're welcome, America and Canada. We will get into that and go over our hockey plays for everything going on tonight on the ice. But let's start today's show with the NBA and what transpired last night and what you're going to see tonight in the association. And let's start here with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. And honestly, I wish this wasn't my take, but this series is over. The Golden State Warriors have no chance to win this series without Steph Curry. None. Absolutely none. And you know what I think of Steph, top 10 player in the history of the game. And what he was doing this year at age 37, just incredible. And what he did in the Houston series, leading the Warriors in points and leading them in rebounds and assists, I mean, just absolutely positively remarkable. I mean, this could not be any better when you look at it from the standpoint of what we saw from Steph during the postseason. When he hurt his hamstring, this all changed on a dime. And this Warrior team last night was dysfunctional. And Draymond Green on the court just completely spiraled out of control. And it was kind of as advertised from a Minnesota perspective. Julius Randle was excellent after a tough game 1. 24 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists. I thought he did a hell of a job last night. Anthony Edwards, who there was that nerve-wracking moment with the ankle in the second quarter, came back out on the court after halftime, and he was ridiculously impressive, and he was able to bounce back from a disastrous game 1, where Chris Finch, the head coach for Minnesota, rightly destroyed his effort. And listen, you look at Ant, and it's 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and that's what you want. That's what you need. The balance was great. The defense was great. And honestly, I just don't see how Golden State has a prayer in this one. And I wish I had a different take and a different opinion. Minnesota should be able to wrap this puppy up now in 5 games. And we originally said that it would be Minnesota in 6. I'm struggling here. When you take a look at the series odds, I'm struggling to find reasons why I will be proven correct. I think this will be closer to 5 than it will be 6 when it's all said and done. That's what we're looking at here with regards to everything going on with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. And I hate the fact that this is where we have to go with it, but I don't know how else to spin it and how else to phrase it from a Golden State perspective. I think the world of Steve Kerr, and I think that he obviously is a top 5 coach, as we've said, in the history of the NBA. But when you don't have Steph Curry, and I know you'll be at home, and I know that the fans are amazing in Golden State, and Jimmy Butler's still playoff Jimmy, that's all true. But I love the response from Minnesota. I love the fact that they had an 11-0 lead right from the jump. I love when Golden State made a run in the third. Bam! A 13-0 run from the Minnesota Timberwolves to make sure everyone knew this is not going to be your night if you're a member of the Golden State Warriors or a Warriors bettor or Warriors backer. So I loved every single second of this. I was kind of obsessed. I was impressed. And I think that Minnesota got the bad game, got the learning experience out of their system in game number 1. And I don't think it's going to happen again. I think that Finch is going to make sure there's laser focus, and I expect Minnesota to be in cruise control the rest of the way. How about OKC and Denver as the series moves to Denver, Colorado, and we have this series knotted up at a game apiece? I can't stress enough how much I love OKC. And look, I said, and I'm going to stay with it, I'm not changing my tune at all. I said before the series started that you're going to see Thunder in 6. I have so much respect for Jokic and so much respect for the way these Nuggets have played post Malone. They seem to be more relaxed and they're calm and they're really doing an excellent job, and they survived a great Clippers team. But 5.5 points to me, I think the Thunder are going to end up winning by 7 to 10, if not even more than 10 points. I think the Thunder, and it's been such an amazing second round of the NBA postseason, the Thunder losing game 1, they're so talented, they're so deep, they're so impressive. I think there's no shot that SGA, who's going to be the MVP, and he's going to be in Jokic's home tonight, there's no way he takes the foot off the gas here. It's just not going to happen. I think that when you look at it from that standpoint, this is a team that understands what the expectations are. They understand that they are the favorites to ultimately win a championship. And I will stay with my prediction of OKC winning this one in 6. I think that the balance, the determination, and frankly, and there's a big difference in this one as far as I'm concerned, the depth for OKC versus that of the Denver Nuggets. I think the Thunder are just deeper, more talented, more versatile. SGA is going to score over 30. He does all the time. And the way that guys like Williams and Dort and Holmgren and Hartenstein complement them and complement him in such an incredible way, I think that is a major factor when you look at it from a Thunder perspective. So I think that the Nuggets are terrific. I think that Adelman should be given a golden opportunity to keep this job. I would just, and I think they're going to win another game. I do not think this is going to be a 5-game series. But the way SGA and OKC and Dagnall, and I blame him for what he did with that foul, getting Jokic back in the game and going to that free throw game at the end of game number 1, there's no way they're going to mess around and find out. I can't stress enough. It's one of my favorite plays tonight. OKC covering the spread, laying the points. I absolutely love the Thunder to take care of business. I am so amped tonight for the Cavs and the Pacers. The ambiance, and I'm such a geek for these kind of things, that's why I love sports. The ambiance in Indy tonight is going to be off the charts, right? You know, I just think, first of all, Indianapolis is a great sports town, and Indiana, great basketball history and tradition. And the fact that Indiana comes home, Tyrese Halliburton comes home up 2-0 in this series, I think the ambiance tonight is going to be second to none. And Halliburton's on a heater, and I love what I'm seeing from the Indiana Pacers. Spicy P, Pascal Siakam, is such an incredible ball player. And, you know, guys who are role players like Nebhard and the steal he had at the end of that game. And, you know, you look at Toppin and McConnell and Carlisle's coaching. The Indiana Pacers have been one of the best teams in the NBA over the last 2 years. And they deserve credit. They were great in the second half, great this calendar year. They are a legit 4 seed. Like, they deserve more love. I give you all that to give you this. I am going to be stunned if the Cavs lose this game. And we've already seen some market movement on the point spread here. I think as it trends, I'm not a doctor, but as it trends based upon reporting and conversation, more in line of the Cleveland Cavaliers getting Darius Garland back, getting Evan Mobley back, getting DeAndre Hunter back, as it trends in that direction. Listen, I think that Vegas is assuming that Cleveland is going to be able to win. I also, on a personal note and a selfish note, as someone who thought Cleveland was a top 3 team before the season started and was very much in favor of Cleveland beating Boston before the playoffs started and took an OKC Cleveland finals, I can't see the Cavs going out like this. And I respect the hell out of the Pacers. And if the Pacers win this series, they will be a worthy winner. But I really feel strongly that this series is far from over. I think if you look at the series odds, the best bet on the board, and it's interesting when you look at the odds, right? Look at the difference between Cleveland in 7 and Indy in 7. Indy in 7's plus 850. Even if you say, okay, maybe they'll wrap it up in 6 games, plus 600. The shorter odds are Cleveland, obviously, in 7 games. I think Cleveland's still going to end up winning this series in 7. I just think that Cleveland is the better team. I'd sprinkle a little on Cleveland at plus 175. I think that the season is on the brink tonight. I think that Cleveland knew the urgency, understood the assignment for game number 2. They had that thing over and won until, it wasn't. And I honestly, at the end of the day, I just think that when it was all said and done, what transpired where they didn't have urgency getting the ball in. Ty Jerome 1 for 14, complete and utter amateur hour here down the stretch. So I am super amped for this game. I think the ambiance is going to be great. I don't think Donovan Mitchell is going to let his team lose. I think Jared Allen is going to have a truly impactful game in every single phase. And I firmly believe here, when it's all said and done, Cavs are very much alive, and they will prove that tonight.
You're watching Make It Rain on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Smarter bets start here. Last all year long with the VSiN Pro. For a limited time, we're slashing the price of our annual subscription, normally $240, now just $199. When you sign up today, we're going to throw in 2 extra months for free. 14 months of VSiN Pro access for less than 50 cents a day when you use the promo code PRO. Get 14 months of access to our daily best bets from VSiN hosts and guests, exclusive splits from DraftKings and Circa, 24/7 live video and full show replays on the VSiN Watch app, plus all of our special edition betting guides. Head on over to vsin.com/subscribe and use the promo code PRO to lock in 14 months of VSiN Pro for just $199. That's VSiN, VSIN.com/subscribe. Welcome back. Make It Rain with Adam Schein. Let's hit some ice and let's hit some hockey bets for tonight and go over what transpired last night. And obviously, we got the Knicks and the Celtics coming up on Saturday. So there's so much that we need to bet on. And if you may, indulge me for a second. Now, I could not believe that these picks were not more conventional wisdom. And I know we had to go to overtime for the Oilers one to cash against the Vegas Golden Knights, but my goodness, we did it. This was incredible. Leon Draisaitl, are you kidding me? He took a pass from the great Connor McDavid, and how about my Oilers? On the money line, a Make It Rain with Adam Schein best bet. Bam! Absolutely, positively incredible last night, but also as expected. I mean, I just think the Oilers are amazing. And I think that people kind of lost sight of that. It almost sounds like Captain Obvious. They lost sight of it because they weren't healthy down the stretch of the season. Edmonton is tremendous. Edmonton is unbelievable. Edmonton is an incredible, incredible team. McDavid's the best damn player on the planet. And you got to remember, the Golden Knights, they're amazing. And the fact that they were able to do this to the Golden Knights in Vegas, I mean, that's incredible. You now have Edmonton up 2-0, and they're up 2-0, and they haven't even played a game in Canada yet in this series. Think about this. The Golden Knights had a 42-game playoff winning streak when scoring at least 3 goals. It ended last night. Second longest NHL history in the playoffs to Montreal's 52-game streak in 45 and through 57. That's how great of a pick that was by yours truly, and how big time a win that was by the Edmonton Oilers. And I'm giving you those facts, right? And Edmonton's never been swept in its 8-year history. And Vegas had the fourth best home ice record in the NHL this year, 29-9-3, right? This all matters to me because the Oilers are going to run away with this series. Look at the odds. I'm telling you here. And I think in so many ways, and I hope you were paying attention, they were so severely underrated. I mean, we're at a stage right now, and I said Oilers in 6. I mean, you might want to look at Oilers in 4 or 5. I figured there'd be a splits in Vegas, but the way this team has played and the way they're handling business and the way that everyone is now healthy, Hyman game 1, Draisaitl game 2, just a friendly reminder, McDavid and Draisaitl, the best 1-2 punch in the entire National Hockey League. It's absolutely, positively incredible. Now I want you to take a look at the up to the second Western Conference odds. And what do you know? Look who's on top, and I hope you got it when it was more of a long shot, a major long shot, and you had the likes of Dallas and Colorado and Winnipeg and Vegas ahead. Listen, this Edmonton team, it's like they said in Seinfeld, real and spectacular, and I love every single second of what we're seeing here from the Edmonton Oilers. We had the Oilers on the money line last night. We had the Capitals on the money line last night. You're welcome. We did it. How about it? Capitals able to beat the Hurricanes. The series is tied at 1. Tom Wilson had the empty netter. Tom Wilson had assists. Tom Wilson was blocking shots. Tom Wilson was a pain in the ass for Carolina all over the ice. And yeah, money line plus 145. I don't know what Vegas was thinking, having the Capitals as such a massive home dog against Carolina, but hey, we took advantage of it, so you're welcome, America and Canada. And I originally said, and my pick was Caps in 5. I'll probably be proven wrong on that, but I think that Caps in 6 is probably pretty tasty. You can get that right now at plus 750, 12-1 for Washington in 5, so I think that is absolutely awesome here when you look at it from a Carolina and a Washington standpoint. And Ovechkin really hasn't even gotten started yet in this series. So, look at the Eastern Conference odds. Nothing has changed for me, right? Nothing has changed. What do you know? It's amazing. They were long shots before the playoffs started. And here it is today on a Friday in May, and the Make It Rain with Adam Schein picks are currently the favorites to win the East or win the West. Amazing how that works out. Maple Leafs plus 170, which leads me to the Maple Leafs and the Panthers for Game 3 tonight. And conventional wisdom, smart money, Vegas, all in on the Panthers. I want you to look at this. Panthers money line minus 238. Am I going to pick the Leafs to win tonight? I am. Am I going to take them on the money line? You betcha. Why wouldn't I? I think that Bob is such a mess right now. And I know now Florida, and I've always defended Florida, Miami, South Florida as I think it's a great hockey town. Seriously. They are smart. They are passionate. I think that the South Florida hockey fan is amazing. So I think that joint's going to be jumping. I also don't think it matters. I think the Maple Leafs are better. And honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised. And I originally said Maple Leafs would take care of business in 6. I wouldn't even be surprised here if the Maple Leafs ended up sweeping. I mean, look at the series odds. I think, frankly, that's pretty smart money right about now. So I expect Toronto to win tonight. And again, and I mean this, right? Sports gods, signs from the universe. Why is this year going to be different? How the Maple Leafs handle success and prosperity, dealing with adversity. The goalie gets hurt, not an issue in Game 2. Outplays the Panthers goalie. This is the kind of game historically, and I acknowledge this as someone who's backing and betting Toronto tonight. Historically, Toronto loses. I just feel like things are vastly different, and the signs point to that tonight for the Maple Leafs. Stars and the Jets coming up game 2 tonight. And listen, I don't really think Winnipeg's that good. We've said that consistently. We picked the Blues, obviously, to win the series and, took them to 7 plus overtime. We'll take the Dallas Stars tonight on the money line, and I firmly believe that the Dallas Stars here are going to be able to win this series. We picked it. Look at the series odds board. I really am convinced that we're going to see the Dallas Stars take care of business in this series. I don't think it'll be any longer than 6 games. That's what we're looking at tonight for the Jets and the Stars. We've got a game 3 tomorrow night with tomorrow afternoon with the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks, 3:30 Eastern, Madison Square Garden. Can't wait for it. And how about Jason Tatum taking all the blame for the Celtics struggles? Well, he should. I want you to take a look at the stats for Tatum in this Knicks series. And I'm stunned by it. I've always been a Tatum fan, a Tatum backer, Tatum believer. I can't do it anymore. I just can't. And 13 points in game number 2, I mean, that's gross, completely unacceptable. I mean, the shooting percentage has been in the damn toilets when you take a look at it. I mean, 12 of 42 for Tatum, shooting 29%. And he keeps settling for threes, 5 of 20. And again, I like Tatum. I favor Tatum in terms of the, conversations in the court of public opinion. But you can't defend this. I didn't like Brian Windhorst's report from a Boston perspective that Joe Mazzulla wants them to be confident in their shot. No, they've been too confident, too arrogant, too lazy. They've grossly outplayed the Knicks for the vast majority of these games, but then the toughness for the Knicks takes over. Boston needs to get Tatum back to what he did. You forget even last year in the Orlando series. Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, when he was perfect. I think that here's what's nerve-wracking if you're a fan, when you look at it, of the Boston Celtics. The Knicks haven't played a great game yet. They haven't even come close to playing an A game. I think the ambiance at Madison Square Garden tomorrow is going to be like we haven't seen since the 90s Knicks. They're going to be drunk. They're going to be punch drunk. Brunson's going to have a dominant first. Cat's going to be amazing. Can't wait for the Knicks and the Celtics.
You're watching Make It Rain on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Let me ask you a question. You want to know where the money's really going? Unlike other sources, our betting splits come straight from Circa and DraftKings Sportsbooks, giving you the insight into where the sharp action is landing. Circa is known for taking big bets from professional bettors, while DraftKings provides a broader market perspective. That means you're getting the real action, not just the public money, but the kinds of wagers that move the line. See the percentage of bets versus the percentage of handle on every single game across every major sport, helping you make smarter, more informed bets. Get VSiN's exclusive betting splits for as little as $9.99 for your first month at VSiN.com/subscribe. Welcome back, Make It Rain with Adam Schein. Joining us right now live on the Progressive Guest Line, one of the absolute best radio hosts in the business. You know him, you love him. He is the man. He carries SiriusXM NBA radio, where our friend, our first ever intern, Sean Butler, runs that juggernaut channel. Our guy, Justin Termine, the critically acclaimed host of NBA Today, 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. JT, how are you?
I'm not doing very well because I'm overlooking the Boston Garden as we speak, and I want everybody in Boston to be in a good mood, but everybody's in a very bad mood after what your Knicks Schein have done to the Celtics through 2 games.
So let's get into that because, we were just talking off air, and we see the NBA, most things in a pretty similar way. Look, I don't think this is about my Knicks, frankly, and sure, credits Mikal Bridges and OG and Mitch Robinson and Brunson, without question. But this is, to me, all anti-Boston And the way they've played, I think the offense has been somewhere between egotistical and lazy, settling for threes, 2 20-point leads. They're at home. I mean, JT, what have you seen from your squad? What do you expect in a monster game coming up tomorrow at Madison Square Garden?
Well, honestly, I don't know what to expect because I think they're the more talented team, and I think you're getting something that you typically don't get with a defending champ, and that's you get over the hump, and then all of a sudden you say, all right, well, we've got past experience, so we're going to approach these final couple of minutes poised. This is a team that's been through the ringer before, whereas you look at the Knicks, not only have they not made a deep run, they haven't done it as a unit. Karl Anthony Towns is new. Mikal Bridges is new. So they're not accustomed to being out there in close spots in the last 3 minutes of a tight game like the Celtics are in the postseason, and still they're the team that looks like they're seasoned, and they've been here before, so it's really confusing. And I liked how you said lazy, because Boston's big advantage in this series is that everybody on their team can defend, and then the Knicks' disadvantage is Karl Anthony Towns is not a premier defender, nor is Jalen Brunson. In fact, they're below average, and the Celtics, instead of attacking those matchups and using their advantages there, are sitting back behind the three-point line and taking threes, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, we're on the exact same page. I don't understand it either. And, even with the report that Joe Mazzulla at a film session told the guys just have confidence in the outside shot. No, that to me is not it. So, Justin, with that as a backdrop, and I'm with you on the I don't know quotient because I'm stunned by what has transpired. And if anything, in terms of intangibles, Boston has the chip. Boston's playing at home. Boston should have been able to handle these late game situations. So what do you expect from Jason Tatum coming up tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, and that's the thing that concerns me as well, because I don't think it's physical. I mean, Tatum, to me, is one of the 5 best players in the sport. And he did have a really good postseason run last year. Was it like a historic run? It wasn't, but he still led the team in points, rebounds, and assists. And I don't like going back and saying that Tatum's never come up in big spots, because he's got 46 on the road, down 3-2 against the defending champs, against the Bucks several years ago. He's got a 50-point in the Game 7. So Tatum has produced in these moments before, but the first 2 games looks like, again, you're going back to 2017, 2018. He's a rookie. He's never been here. And maybe the outside noise is getting into a little bit, because how could it not with the way that he's been treated? So if you can't handle yourself in your home environment, and then you're going into what I expect to be maybe the toughest environment that he's ever played in before, because MSG is going to be nuts, I don't understand how you handle that type of pressure. He is the player in the spotlight this weekend. It's nobody else. And if that gets to him even a little bit, if he's in his head, I don't see how you produce in that spot.
Yeah, I'm with you completely. That's a great way to frame it, too. I mean, it's tough to go into the crystal ball and say, okay, monster game from Tatum in that kind of ambiance and environment. So we're on the exact same page. Look, I know the respect level that you have for Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. He loves your show on SiriusXM NBA Radio. He's on with you guys all the time on your training camp tour. And, man, it crushes me that I personally don't think we're going to see him the rest of the playoffs. I don't think Golden State is going to beat Minnesota. I think that hamstring is problematic. I saw his press conference yesterday. Warriors are always conservative when it comes to, in a good way, injuries and handling Steph. I mean, I don't know if Golden State's going to get another game. I think Minnesota got Chris Finch's message after game number 1. What did you see last night? And do you think the Warriors are done?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're done, because I would say behind Jokic, the most important stuff. I'm not saying that Steph's the second best player left in the postseason. You can make that argument, but he is the second most important player to his team, right? You take Jokic off, they're an absolute mess. Whereas, say you take SGA off the Thunder, I still think the Thunder could win a game or even a series. You can't do that with Steph. You need him. I think ultimately the goal is, hey, the soonest he could come back is maybe a game 6. And I'm not saying he will. I would anticipate maybe he'd miss the whole series as well. But the position you try and put yourself in is, hey, be down 3-2 heading into a game 6. You hope Steph could return and he doesn't miss a beat. And if they're going to do that, it comes down to me to 2 things. It comes down to Jimmy Butler giving you one of those performances that he had in Miami, where he at least approaches 40 points. And the other thing, and the good sign from yesterday, is you saw Jonathan Kuminga wake up a little bit. He can be explosive. So you need more performances like yesterday from Jonathan Kuminga. I
think you nailed it. I want to get your take on the Cavs and the Pacers, because I have so much respect for Indiana. I love Halliburton, love their role players, love Spicy P, love Rick Carlisle. And this team has been one of the better teams and organizations in the NBA over the last couple of years. Like, I don't think there's anything flukish when it comes to Indiana. Oh, but JT, I didn't expect this to happen to Cleveland. I mean, they couldn't inbound the ball. Ty Jerome couldn't shoot. I didn't think game 2 was about the 3 guys who were injured. They still should have won that game. I didn't think the Pacers would actually seal the deal until the ball went in the hoop on Halliburton's final shot. I'm picking Cleveland tonight, and I know that I believe it. I also know that I want it. Like, I can't have the Cavs, after all that they've accomplished, go out like this. What do you see tonight for Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers?
It's the one thing I don't like about the upsets, right? Is we talk about like load management. Well, Cleveland took the regular season seriously, so you'd like to see it pay off, right? Now, Indiana's a really good team. Indiana has the 4th best record the entire NBA since December 13th. Their defense is in the top 10, and that's typically something that they're not great at. But I would say that you're right. It wasn't about the 3 guys being out last game. It was about what Kenny Atkinson said. They were gassed down the stretch. And the one thing I disagree with Atkinson in the way that he used that lineup is he said he wished he played other guys more. I'd go the opposite. I'd say I'd rather see like an extra 10 minutes of Donovan Mitchell completely gassed than 29 minutes of Isaac Okoro, a guy that does nothing for you, or Javonte Green. So I would hope that guy like Donovan Mitchell carry a little bit more of the load even today, even though he scored 48 the other day. I'm not asking him to score 48 again, but at least give me like 40 minutes like a Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, etc. are capable of doing. But if they're not fully healthy, Indiana's too good for them to beat. So Indiana, I see winning the series now.
Wow. So I'm curious, what did you think before this series started? How many games do you think Indiana will win this series in?
So at the beginning of the series, I thought Cleveland in 6, but I said that there was more likely of an upset here, even before all the health issues, than there was with the Knicks and the Celtics. Like if I had to rank these 4 teams heading into the second round, I would have said Celtics, Cavaliers, Pacers, and then Knicks. And I would have said even that Indiana is closer to the top 2 than the Knicks were. So I'm surprised that both of them are up. But I would now go Indiana probably in 6. I'll give the Cavs, the advantage in maybe getting Garland and the other 2 guys back tonight. And Evan Mobley and DeAndre Hunter, because they are expected to play. But unless they're 100%, I just think Indiana's too good, and I don't see Cleveland taking 2 games on the road.
Who you got tonight, OKC or the Denver Nuggets?
I wasn't anticipating OKC to blow them out the other day like they did, but OKC is clearly the better team by leaps and bounds. Like they got the best player in Jokic, but OKC's got everything else. They've got the depth where maybe their 10th or 11th guy is as good as the 4th guy on Oklahoma City. And then on top of that, the injury to Michael Porter Jr., no chance. So I'm going to go with OKC. And I wouldn't be shocked if Denver doesn't win another game in the series.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I originally said OKC in 6. Wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, especially because of how OKC lost game number 1. I think Dagnall messed that up, frankly, at the end of the game. Now he's got everyone's attention. JT, you're the best. Have an unbelievable show. We'll be listening, of course, on SiriusXM NBA Radio. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you, Schein. I appreciate you having me.
You're watching Make It Rain on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Betting on sports, why not try the races? First Bet lets you wager on hundreds of horse races every single day. From the top tracks across the United States and around the world. Sign up at firstbet.com, firstbet.com. That's the number 1, stbet.com. Use promo code VSiN200 to claim a 20% rebate for your first 60 days, up to $200. Head on over to firstbet.com today. Welcome back, Make It Rain with Adam Schein. Time for our news, notes, nuggets, and nightly plays. And let's hit some baseball. And I got to tell you, if I'm a Red Sox fan, I am really concerned about what is going on here with Rafael Devers, who talked to reporters on Thursday for the first time since Tristan Cassis was ruled out for the season after he ruptured his left Achilles tendon. And Devers said that it was Red Sox management. Craig Breslow, friend of the show, went to Yale. Love Craig Breslow. He's my guy. Loves making rain with Adam Schein. And Breslow, not Alex Cora, went to Devers and asked him to play first base. And I'm going to be honest here, as I always am. I am completely, clearly, 110% on the side of Rafael Devers. I appreciate trying to do at every single turn what is best for the ball club and wins and the Boston Red Sox. But, Bill Parcells once said, you don't treat every player the same. I mean, go back to the Lawrence Taylor days, right? It's just how it works. And Rafael Devers is the best player on the Boston Red Sox. And he is a star, and he has a personality that goes along with it. And he's one of the best pure left-handed hitters in the game. And they completely fouled it up by not being upfront and honest with him with the Bregman signing, which was a no-brainer, and we defended it and talked about it, and that helped change the odds for the Red Sox to win the division. Why I picked them to beat my Yankees. I was annoyed when Yankees didn't sign Bregman. I'm sure Tigers fans are annoyed when they didn't sign Bregman. And this was a great move for Boston, and Bregman's off to an incredible start. But you needed to massage it here with Devers, and they didn't. Okay, now he's a DH. Fine. Wanted to play third. Now you want to move him to first? See, that gets in his head. And, you got to handle stars differently. Understand that the bat is everything for Rafael Devers. And look, at the end of the day, I think that this is a mess. And the Red Sox, when you look at their current profile, they're a game above 500. Still think that they're going to make the playoffs. I still think, as a Yankees fan, Boston is going to win the division. I still believe that. Having said that, you have to be able to massage this appropriately. You don't treat everybody the same way. Stunned that the Red Sox, who are such a good organization, they're messing around here with Rafael Devers. And I am completely 100% without question on Team Devers when it comes to this. Now, I am very into this series that the Red Sox have coming up with the Kansas City Royals. A couple of teams that we picked preseason, I'll make it rain with Adam Schein, to win divisions. Kansas City's won 15 of its last 17. Royals are locked in. Obviously, you see genius every single night from Bobby Witt Jr. The offense has been incredible. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Royals win. We have a great play on this game. We're piping hot with our best bets. Coming up in our best bets in a few minutes. Meanwhile, the Cincinnati Reds have placed my guy Hunter Green on the injured list with a groin strain, and it was a grade 1 groin strain, and he's been placed on the injured list. Terry Francona said it's not terrible, but it's going to be an IL placement because we need him to miss a start or two. Terry Francona is almost too honest when he talks to the press. So getting this kind of report, I thought, was a rather big deal and a positive and a step in the right direction in terms of the health for Hunter Green. So I think you could probably, if you're a Reds fan, take a breath. What makes you nervous, even missing a couple of starts. This is the best pitcher on the Reds, one of the best pitchers in the National League. Hunter Green has been lights out. 4-2, 2.36 ERA, 8 starts this season, 61 strikeouts in 45 2/3 innings pitched. Now, take a look at the Cincinnati Reds and their odds board as we speak. I picked them preseason to win the division. Cubs are playing tremendous ball, and Cubs were my toughest team to leave out of the playoffs, so we made our preseason picks. I think it's going to be tough to win the division, and even tougher if it's more of a prolonged absence here for Hunter Green. But I still think it's very possible here when it comes to winning a division at plus 950 for the Cincinnati Reds. The Detroit Tigers took a doubleheader in Colorado yesterday. The Colorado Rockies are the biggest embarrassments when it comes to sports. We'll get to that in a second. let's give the Tigers some love. The Tigers, right now, to me, are the team to beat in the American League. And they've earned that. Look at the odds to win the American League. Yankees are still the Yankees, so, that's a big brand, so they're a plus 350. Tigers have the second best odds at plus 450. And this team is absolutely legit, and they deserve to be celebrated and respected. And A.J. Hinch's team's got it going on. They are great and deep and talented in every possible way. The story from yesterday is Colorado. They are 6-31. 6-31. How do they even win 6 games? They are cheap. They've never won a division. It's a complete and utter embarrassment. This team is wretched. They don't give a damn. I feel terrible for the fans in Colorado. They deserve so much more, so much better. Can you imagine a beautiful day in Denver sitting through that double dip, losing 10-2 and then 11-1? Absolute amateur hour. Amateur hour. I think the Rockies, if you look at cheap ownership, clueless management, and a team that just does not give a damn, I feel bad for their manager, Bud Black, who's a great baseball man. I feel bad for the fans. You can make a case if you're doing a power rankings of organizations in the Big Four with hockey, NHL, Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA. The Colorado Rockies are genuinely the worst. Like, legitimately the worst. They're comfortable being a farm system for every other team in baseball. Absolute amateur hour when you take a look at it here for the Colorado Rockies. The aforementioned Tigers start a series with the Rangers tonight. We're going to have a play on this one. All I'm saying is it's Skubal and it's Patty Corbin as the pitching matchup. We will hit it home in a couple of minutes how much we love the Detroit Tigers. Diamondbacks took their series opener against the Dodgers. Yamamoto got hit with that grand slam early with Moreno going deep for a grand slam. I thought Yamamoto pitched well for the most part, but obviously good-looking win for Arizona. You saw the Dodgers come back down early. Ohtani hit a homer, but could not get it done. I do think the Dodgers will win tonight. I do still think that the Dodgers are the best team in the National League West, and I do think that Arizona deserves love as a team that will eventually make the postseason when it's all said and done. And I still look at this National League West. Told you I like all 4 teams with the over before the season started. I mean, and I say all 4. I don't even consider the Rockies a real team. They should be contracted from Major League Baseball. Time right now to give out our best bets, brought to you by G-Bank. G-Bank, a Visa signature card. Most credit cards treat the sportsbook and the gaming transactions as cash advances. That's even when you put your own money on the card. G-Bank treats the gaming transactions as purchases, so you're saving up to 3 to 5% on the cash advance fees on gaming transactions right there. Also, with G-Bank, you're earning 1% cashback rewards on all eligible sportsbook and gaming transactions, 2% cashback rewards on eligible purchases. You can apply right now, VSiN.com/GBank, VSiN.com/GBank. Friday best bets, and we cleaned up yesterday, went 6-2, and the juice factor was unbelievable on the Oilers pick and the pick with the Washington Capitals, and Trey Turner extra bases and total bases, so that was great. Take a look at the best bets for tonight. Maple Leafs money line plus 195. Oh, baby, that is spicy. Donovan Mitchell over 29.5 points minus 110. OKC minus 4.5 at minus 112. You're welcome. The number is high on the Red Sox Royals over, but I like both these offenses too much. And Tigers to win by at least 2 runs. Skubal versus Corbin. So run line tonight for the Tigers minus 118. Stay tuned to Make It Rain. Stay tuned to VSiN after Make It Rain for Follow the Money. Mitch and Paulie, today's show. Scott Agnes, the Pacers beat writer, is going to join the boys. Really looking forward to that. Then, VSiN Primetime with Scott Seidenberg. And then it's the Sports Gambling Podcast with Sean Green, not that Sean Green, but Sean Green and Ryan Kramer coming up 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks to the guys in the Vegas control room. Thanks to the great Michael Cohen. Have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you Monday. Make it rain with Adam Schein.